Are you tired of being misunderstood? Or perhaps hearing a set of instructions, doing what you understood you were being asked to do, only to be told you did the wrong thing? Would you benefit from some simple, easy to use tips to help you and your team improve your communication? Hello, my friends. Jeffrey Shaw here from Grow to Your Potential. In my experiences, miscommunication is one of the chief causes of problems in teams and organizations. They can suck the life out of a team, reduce productivity and joy, and in the worst cases, cause a company to fail regardless of how good their product or service is. Fortunately, it doesn't have to go this route. Everyone has the capacity to improve their communication. Just think, you started off as a baby. Your only means of communication was to cry. Now, look at all the ways in which you can communicate today. All of us have the capacity to improve and truly reap the benefits of good communication. That is why, over the past couple of months, we have been on a journey to improve our communication. We looked into some false beliefs that hinder our communication. Then we explored the role intentions and motivation play in how we communicate and understand others. Over the next few weeks, we will be wrapping up this journey by exploring 4 easy, practical tips that will help you on your journey to better communication. Well, without further delay, let's just jump right into this week's tip. The first tip I have for you is a big one. I've talked about this before, and I'll talk about it again, and it ties into the previous 8 weeks. You ready for this? Test your assumptions. That's right, you need to test your assumptions. We make all kinds of assumptions all the time. Assumptions about our beliefs and intentions and those of others. We even make assumptions about how effectively we have communicated. This has been a big one for me to learn to navigate. I think back to a team I was leading where there were a lot of communication problems. I would work incredibly hard to really be clear with goals and expectations, only to reach that next team meeting to discover a team member once again was off task. I would try again, reframing their task and expected outcomes, only to face the same problem at the next meeting. The worst part was, I knew the solution to the problem was rooted in communication, but I was afraid to take those necessary steps. Although I tried to improve how I communicated, I didn't take the time to test for understanding. Deep down, I knew the quickest way to solve the issue was to ask the person to repeat back to me what they understood they were to do and commit to it. And yet, I held back. I gave in to the idea in my head that doing so would come across as demeaning, like I was insulting their intelligence, treating them like a little child. And if I'm really honest, it also meant risking exposing myself to the truth that either I wasn't clear in my communication and I had failed, or that the other person truly was not on board and it was a compliance issue rather than communication issue. So rather than get curious, I operated on the assumption that this time, my communication would be clear enough and the desired result would be achieved. Well, I'm sure I don't need to tell you how this turned out, as we all know what happens when we assume, right? My friends, I can't say this enough. If you want to unlock your potential, if you want to improve your joy and success in life, you need to improve your ability to communicate. And one of the fastest ways of doing that is to identify and test the assumptions that you are making. Bring those assumptions to the surface, out into the open where they can be tested. When we expose our assumptions, we find out if they're right or if they're wrong and can adjust accordingly. This is how we grow and learn, not by being an ostrich and burying our head in the sand, hoping that we will somehow succeed. Well, if you have found this tip helpful and would like to hear more great tips on how to improve your communication, be sure to join me over the next few weeks as I share with you more great tips on how to improve your communication. And because communication is a two-way street, share this with a friend or colleague. May you experience the success and enlightenment as you begin to test your assumptions.